Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel Scratch Learners. Today we are going to discuss about the C++ code of Radix-Short program. In the last video we have already discussed about how this Radix-Short algorithm works. If you don't know, then please watch out that video. So let's begin with the Radix-Short program. This is the header file and a preprocessor directive, and these are the functions that we are going to use in this program. And here we are having the main block within which we are defining an array A of size 50 and two variables n and I. So we will start by inputting the size of the array in the variable n, and we will input all the elements in the array A at location I. Then we are calling this function Radix-Short with the parameters, the array and the size of the array. Okay, so let's see the block for Radix-Short. This is the function for Radix-Short. Here the first step is to find out the maximum element from the array. Okay, so we are calling this function getMax. See, this is the getMax function in which we are initializing the first element of the array in the variable mx, and from I equals to 1 till n we are comparing all the elements with the variable mx, and if any variable is greater than that mx variable, then we are assigning the value of that variable in mx. Okay, so in this way we will get the maximum element of the array in the variable mx, and we are returning this value of mx and storing it here in the variable m. So m is the maximum element of the array. Then for pos equals to 1 till when m by pos greater than 0, we are calling the function count_short. We already know that Radix-Short works by sorting the elements according to the place values, right? So after getting the maximum element of the array, we can get the maximum number of place value in the array, right? So if the number is 740, then there are 3 place value. Okay, so the value of pos equals to 1 will be called for the unit place. That means in the value 740, the first loop, that is the first count_short function, will be called for the unit place 0. Then again this pos will be multiplied by 10. That means if it was 1 previously, then now it will be 10, right? So when pos equals to 10, then the count_short function will be called for the tens value, that is 4 in 740. Again when pos will be multiplied by 10, then it will be 100, and it will be called for hundreds place value, that is 7, right? So in this way we will sort all the elements according to their place value. Now let's see the block for the count_short function. See, this is the function block for count_short, right? Here we are having an array B of size n. It will be the output array in which we will store all the sorted elements of the array, and we are having an array count that will store the count of all the unique elements of the array. See, in each place value we can have values ranging from 0 to 9, right? That's why we are having this count array of size 10, and in the beginning we are initializing all these 10 elements with the value 0. Then the first loop will be storing the count of occurrence of each element of the array in the count array. Okay, so for I equals to 0 to I less than n, we will execute this statement. See here, see, this is the statement for calculating the value at the digit place. That means when pos equals to 1, then this will give the unit digit place value. When pos equals to 10, then this value will give us the 10th place value, and similarly when pos equals to 100, then this statement will give us the 100th place value. So whatever the place value element is at that index of count array, we are incrementing the value. In this way we will have the count of each unique element of the array. Then the next loop is for calculating the cumulative sum of the elements in the count array. So we are summing up the element at the count array with all the previous elements of the count array to get the position of the element, and this loop is to find out the sorted position of each element according to the place values. See, we have already discussed all the functionalities of all these functions in the last video, where we had discussed how these algorithm works and what are the uses of these blocks, right? So if you are having any problem in understanding the functions of these blocks, then I recommend you to please watch out that video. We already know that we are starting the loop from the right side and move towards the left side. That means from n-1 to 0. Then whatever element we are pointing to, we will go to the place value index of count array. That means this value at the place value of array A will be the index for the count array, and we will decrement that value, and at that index of array B we will store the element at the array A. Okay, so using this function we will store all the elements of the array according to their place value in their sorted position. Okay, and in the last we are copying all the elements from array B to array A. In the array B we are storing the sorted elements according to the place values, right? So we will copy back all the elements of array B into array A. And now as we have executed this block of count sort, the control will again go to this location, right? And then POS will be multiplied by 10, and now the same function will be called for the 10th place value. Then again, after sorting the elements according to the 10th place value, again the value of POS will be multiplied by 10, and then again this count sort program will be called for the 100th place value, right? So in this way, by sorting according to all the place values, we will get our sorted array. And after executing this radix sort function, the control will go back to here, right? And the next function print will be called. Okay, so in the function block print, we are printing all the elements of the array A. Okay, so this function is just for displaying all the elements. So this is how the radix sort program works. Now let's run this program. Let the number of elements be 8. See here, I have inputted all the 8 elements and we have got our sorted array, right? Here 5 is present 2 times and they are also present in their stable sorted order. So this is all about the radix sort program. If you are having any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you.